Good morning, students. Now let's start with our 7th lecture of chapter number 8, that is magnetism and properties of magnetic substances. Okay. Now yesterday we have completed about the important physical quantities related to magnetism, in that intensity of magnetization, magnetizing field, magnetic susceptibility and magnetic permeability we have studied, we have discussed. Now, as I told you yesterday that in tomorrow's lecture we are going to study about the relation between the different magnetic quantities. And here we are starting with that point only, with that topic only, that what is the relation between the different magnetic quantities. Okay. Now suppose, imagine a core of a material is placed inside the solenoid. The net magnetic field produced by the system is, what was that? B is equals to B naught plus B1. Equation number 1. Now what is B naught and what is B1? That B naught is the contribution of current in the magnetic field. Okay, and B naught is the contribution of current and B1 is the contribution of material of a core. Okay, this one B naught is a contribution by a current and B1 is the contribution of a material of a core. In a solenoid we are just producing or pass a current in the solenoid, so through that current the magnetic field is present, that is B naught. Okay, and inside the solenoid there is a core, a material of a core is placed, and in that material core a magnetic field is produced. It was different from this, that is your B. Okay, now here B1 is directly proportional to the intensity of magnetization, and when we remove the sign of proportionality there is a constant, that is your mu naught I. Equation number 1. So in equation number 2, then put the value of B1 in equation number 1. So equation number 1 is your B is equals to B naught plus B1. So B naught is mu naught into H, due to means the current, through the current, that was your mu naught H, and through the material of a core, that is your mu naught I. Okay, so we get the value B is equals to, take mu naught as common, H plus I. Now we know that equation number 3, that the intensity of magnetization is the product of magnetic susceptibility and magnetizing field. I am just replacing the value of I with this value. Okay, so we get B is equals to mu naught H plus chi m into H. Now just take the H common and just be here in the form of divide. So B upon H is equals to mu naught 1 plus chi m. 1 plus chi m. Okay, now from here B upon H, what is the value of B upon H? If you remember the value of B upon H, look beta, B is equals to mu naught into H. So mu naught is equals to B upon H. Okay, simple as that. And for the normal one, not any medium, not any vacuum, so mu is equals to mu naught 1 plus chi m. Now we know a relation that mu naught means magnetic permeability in a medium to the vacuum is your relative permeability. So when we divide this here, then we get mu r is equals to 1 plus chi m. Okay, clear? In the different form we can write this equation. Even we can write this equation like that also. B upon mu naught minus I is equals to H from equation number 3. This equation we get from equation number 3. I am writing here. From equation 3, then we get the equation number 5. Okay, so different relations we have found with different physical quantities. Okay, which is easy one. Okay, now for the better understanding, we are going to solve some of the numericals, so you can easily understand what is the concept. Clear? So for that, your first numerical is the paramagnetic material chromium has magnetic susceptibility as 2.7 into 10 to the power minus 4. Find its magnetic permeability and relative magnetic permeability. Okay, now in the question, if there is a one paramagnetic material, chromium is there, and for that the value of magnetic susceptibility has been given, means the chi m value has been given. We have to find the value of magnetic permeability and relative magnetic permeability. Clear? So for this solution, we are having the formulas that we have to be used, and that is solution. Okay, and in this the formula is mu is equals to mu naught 1 plus chi m. Mu is equals to mu naught 1 plus chi m. Now chi m value has been given in the question, that is 2.7 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, now simply we have to put all the values in the following this equation. So we get the values like this. Mu is equals to, mu naught means 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7 1, okay, plus 2.7 into 10 to the power minus 4. Clear? Now we have to be resolve this. Then mu is equals to 12.56 into 1.00027 into 10 to the power minus 7. Then we get the value mu is equals to 12.5634 into 10 to the power 7 minus 7 in Henry per meter. This is the value of the magnetic permeability, first thing. Okay, now the second one, what we have to solve? We have to solve the relative magnetic permeability. Okay, so for that, relative permeability is mu r is equals to 1 plus chi m. Mu r we have to calculate 1 plus chi m is your 2.7 10 to the power minus 4. Then your value will become 1.00027. This one is the answer. Clear? Okay? Means sometime we have just been seen that in the numerical only one numeric value has been given of the one of the physical quantity and another you have to calculate. Then you all students have become confused that how should we can calculate two physical quantities in the numerical from the numerical that in which only one numeric value has been given. Doesn't matter beta. Sometime it will just be given you that for making you confused, nothing else. Okay, sometime if you have seen that in the numerical 2 or 3 values has been given unnecessary, even that values are not be used in the formula and not be used in the entire numerical also, but then also that values has been given. Okay, it would just be simply sometime it was a demand of the question language in the question, and sometime it would just be given for making you confused that you have just be split your mind at which formula we have to be applied, because the formula which I know in that this value is not be including, then we get confused. Okay, so just be faith on yourself. Okay, and sometime in the formula only the one value has been given, it means another one is either your numeric value or either the constant value. For that the constant term you have to be put or you have to be write. Clear? Okay, got my point? Moving toward with the next numerical. One more numerical we can solve, okay, so you can understand it more better. Next numerical, paramagnetic material aluminium has magnetic susceptibility 2.3 10 to the power 5, okay, minus 5. It is placed in a magnetizing field field 4 into 10 to the power 5 ampere per meter. Find the magnetization of the material. Magnetization means you have to calculate the value of intensity of magnetization. Clear? Okay. There is a one paramagnetic material aluminium whose value of magnetic susceptibility has been given. It is placed in a magnetizing field and that value is also be given. You have to calculate the value of magnetization, means the intensity of magnetization. Such a simple question is it. We have to just simply put the formula, nothing else. I is equals to chi m into h. That's it. And the given values that the chi m is equals to 2.3 10 to the power minus 5 and h is equals to 4 into 10 to the power 5 ampere per meter. Then we calculate the value of I, then 2.3 into 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 10 to the power plus 5. It has been cancelled out. So 4 3s are 12, 2 4 2s are 8, 1 9, 9.2 ampere per meter. This one is your answer. Simple as that, nothing more typical. Clear? Now moving toward with the next topic, that is classification of magnetic material. Okay, so next topic is classification of magnetic materials. Now, according to the behavior of a material in external magnetic field, the materials are mainly of three types. One is your diamagnetic, another one is your paramagnetic, and third one is your ferromagnetic material. Okay, according to their behavior, that they have just be experienced a strong magnetic field, a weak magnetic field, or a repulsion force. What is the force they experienced? For that only. And in that series, we are going to first discuss about the diamagnetic substances. Diamagnetic substances. Okay, if it is placed in a non-uniform external magnetic field, this material has been moved from strong field to the weak field, or they have to be outstayed by the field. Okay, and actually they acquire a net non-zero magnetization, which is opposite to the applied field. And these materials are called your diamagnetic material, and their properties are your diamagnetism. Example: copper, zinc, antimony, bismuth, okay, and hydrogen, H2, N2, aurum, silver, air, water, diamond. So, what is the diamagnetic substance? Okay, as in our yesterday's video, a small definition, a small concept we have studied about the diamagnetism, that the strongly attracted by the the weakly repelled by the magnetic field. Okay, very weakly repelled by the magnetic field is your diamagnetic material. Okay, and in that also, if any of the material has been placed in the non-uniform external magnetic field, then it was moved from strong field to the weak field, means it was going towards the weak field. Okay, and it acquire a small, or we can say net non-zero magnetizing opposite to the applied field. Okay, and so such types of the materials are called your diamagnetic materials, and their properties are your diamagnetism. Okay, now suppose such a material which have a paired electron in their atom, okay, which revolve in the opposite direction. Now, in the absence of external magnetic field, the magnetic moment of those electrons get cancelled and being equal to each other, equal and opposite to each other. Now, in the presence of the external magnetic field, the magnetic force on the moving electron is opposite in both pairing electron. In a first condition, there is no any external magnetic field, so there is no any there is the magnetic moment which has been applied in the moving electron has been cancelled and being equal and opposite. And if it was present a magnetic field, then a magnetic force is applied on the moving electron which is opposite in both pairing electrons. Okay, only on one electron we are saying, and it is towards the nucleus, and it was increasing its velocity, and due to this its magnetic moment is also increased. Do you have remember? Means before previous two lectures, in our previous two lectures, we have get the value of magnetic moment in a moving electron circular orbit, and we get the value m is equals to half EVR. Okay, so that it was increasing the value of magnetic moment also. Now in the other way, it is away from the nucleus, and thus its velocity decreases and its magnetic moment is also be decreases. Now the magnetic moment is the directions of the applied field get decreased and that which is opposite get increased. What I am saying? That the magnetic moment in the direction of the applied field get decreased and that which is an opposite direction it get increased. So hence the net magnetization induced in the material is opposite to the applied field. Okay. Now in the diamagnetism is present in all the substances and in some of it was not observed due to the dominant properties which are present. Superconductors are your ideal diamagnetic substances. For them, the value of the magnetic susceptibility is -1 and value of the magnetic permeability in a vacuum is 0. And this effect is called your Meissner effect. Which effect? Meissner effect. And the magnetic field lines of external fields are completely expelled by them. A liquid diamagnetic substance placed in a watch glass over a magnetic poles and behaves at sometime it was what in a poles are just be near to each other, then it was just be in a curvical shape, and if poles are opposite then it was just make only one curve shape. Okay. So I'm just explaining you the entire thing in the form of definition and small definitions we may write that if it placed in non-uniform external magnetic field, the materials moves from strong field to weak field or weak field. Actually, they acquire a small net non-zero magnetization. Small net non-zero magnetization, and which is opposite to the applied field. Though these materials are called diamagnetic and the property is diamagnetism. Examples: copper, zinc, antimony, bismuth, hydrogen, nitrogen, okay, silver, air, water, diamond, and many more. Okay. Now, mostly the diamagnetism is present in all the substances. Okay, diamagnetism is present in all substances. In some of it is not observed due to other dominant properties present. Okay, now there are one important note is there. That in this, the superconductors are ideal diamagnetic substances and for them the value of susceptibility is -1 and permeability in a vacuum is 0, and this effect is called Meissner effect. Sometimes it was asked in the question. Okay, it was your Meissner effect. This you have to be remembered. Okay, so this is about your diamagnetism. Clear? Moving toward the next substance, and that is your paramagnetic substance. Second one, paramagnetic substances. Now in this paramagnetic substance, these substances when placed in the external magnetic field, it was moved slightly from weak field to the strong field, or they are slightly attracted by the magnetic field. We simply say that they acquire a small net magnetic moment in the direction of the applied field, and such type of the magnets are your paramagnetic substances. Okay, means we can just simply say it was slightly attracted, slightly having not having a very much but weak magnetic field, we can say. Okay, and example like the sodium, calcium, aluminium, copper chloride, all these are the examples of the paramagnetism. Now this type of the material have the unpaired electron in their atom, and so every atom is a magnetic moment, and the net magnetic moment in the absence of the external field is 0. And because of the random orientation which is developed due to the thermal agitation, okay, and when the external field is applied, the torque is acting on that, and they align some of these atomic magnetic dipoles in the direction of the applied field. Now all magnetic dipoles do not get aligned due to the thermal effect. Hence, the materials get some non-zero magnetic moment in the direction of the applied field, and such materials are allowed and some of the field lines of the external field to pass through them. Okay, and if it was placed in any kind of the watch glass, it having the high peak in the curve. Okay, when the poles are very much near. Clear? Okay, so this is about your paramagnetic material. Now, simply we have to be write about a few lines in the definition, that when it is placed in external magnetic field, then it moves slightly from weak field to strong field, or they are slightly attracted by magnetic field. They acquire small net magnetic moment in the direction of applied field. Okay, so these substances are called paramagnetic substances. Example: sodium, calcium, aluminium, copper chloride, and many more. Such materials are your, what we can say, a paramagnetic materials. Okay, now there is a very much temperature dependence is there. Means in a practically, if the magnetic intensity of a paramagnetic substance is directly, means we can say, proportional to the imposed magnetic field and inversely proportional to the absolute temperature. Okay, it was directly proportional to the magnetic field and inversely to the absolute temperature, and from there we get the our one constant, and that was your Curie constant. Okay, so one subtopic we have to discuss in this, that is temperature dependence. Okay, the magnetic intensity of a paramagnetic substances is proportional to the imposed magnetic field and inversely proportional to the absolute temperature, that is magnetic intensity directly proportional to the imposed magnetic field and inversely proportional to the absolute temperature. Okay, now when we remove the proportionality sign, put equals to, here C has been come, equation number 1, and here C is your a constant. Here C is your Curie constant. Okay, and we know that B naught is equals to mu naught H, equation number 2. So put the value of B naught in equation 1, then we get I is equals to C mu naught H upon T. H in the form of divide, we have to take it out. So C mu naught T. I upon H ratio is your magnetic susceptibility, if you remember. Then chi m is equals to C mu naught T, equation number 3. And it is called Curie law. Curie law. Okay, this one is a Curie law. Sometimes it was asked in the question, what is Curie law? So Curie law is there in the paramagnetic material. Okay, now the third one is your ferromagnetic material substance, which is commonly used and produce a strong magnetic field, that we have discussed in our tomorrow's lecture. Okay, and after that there is 2 topics are remaining, mostly 2 topics. The means ferromagnetic substance, third point we will discuss. Then a Curie law and a Curie temperature, means the explanation of this formula. Okay, not a derivation is there. Then important topic is there, that was magnetic hysteresis curve, that is your BH curve. Okay, so we have to be discuss about the BH curve, and that one is your last. Hysteresis curve and hysteresis laws is your last topic of this chapter. Means hardly 3 topics we can say, 3 to 4 topics are remaining in this chapter. So maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow we have complete this chapter, and by this chapter our magnetic properties, substances, magnetism, magnetic field, means the topics related to the magnets is mostly completed. Then we are just moving forward with the 9th chapter, and that was your EMI, electromagnetic induction, means the combination of both electric field and the magnetic field. Clear? Okay. Now we are going to discuss about our today's homework, and the numerical is there. Okay, you have to do the numerical. So the question is, a road of cross section area 0.40 centimeter square is placed in magnetizing field 4000 ampere per meter. If the magnetic flux passing the road is 5 into 10 to the power 5 Weber, then find magnetic induction, magnetic susceptibility, and magnetization of the material of road. This is your numerical. This you have to do. This you have to be complete. Okay, so in this the area of cross section has been given. Okay, that is 4 into what we have the value in the centimeter, so it will be value will become 4 into 10 to the power minus 5. Okay, and the value of H will also be given, that is your 4000 ampere per meter. Okay, the value of magnetic flux is also be given, 5 into 10 to the power minus 5 Weber. Minus 5 Weber is there. Okay, now the formula for that, how we can calculate the value of magnetic field, that is your phi upon A. Okay, so first of all we have to be find the value of magnetic induction, means the how much magnetic field is induced. Okay, so for this the formula we have to be apply is B is equals to phi, means the flux upon area. Then you have to calculate the magnetic permeability, susceptibility or permeability is there, no? Magnetic, for that we have to first calculate the value of magnetic permeability. Okay, so mu is equals to B upon H. After you have calculated this, then you have to be calculate the value of susceptibility, that is your mu r minus 1, means mu upon mu naught minus 1. Then easily you can get the value of susceptibility also. Okay, so this you can easily calculate the value, and in the last you have to calculate the magnetization, that is your intensity of magnetization I. So you know the formula for the I is equals to chi m into H. Okay, so these all the values are just be related to each other. You have to be apply the formula, convert the values in centimeter to meter, and easily you can get calculate your answer. Clear? Thank you. That's all for today.